Okay, we're gonna talk about bicycles getting totaled. When a car gets totaled, that means the price of repairing that car exceeds the price of that car being repaired in its current condition and its current age and its current mileage. And bike shops, they don't go by this. They go by repairs. Typically, oh, this bike, you bought it for $3,000, so a $1,000 repair is justifiable. But in most cases, that $1,000 repair exceeds the amount that you could sell that bike for in its current age and its current condition. So the bicycle is in effect totaled. So when I come across a bicycle, part of the reason why I've never done a $1,000 bike repair is because I am honest with my customers. And when the bike service far exceeds the amount that they could go sell that bike, even if it was fixed up, they could go sell that bike on Facebook Marketplace. When that service exceeds that value, I tell them that your bicycle is totaled. Full suspension bikes, Maddie can ride a full suspension bike up in the mountains. He can ride a hardtail. He chooses a hardtail. You go a little bit slower. Full suspension, it's just a little bit funner. So I'm a sucker for full suspension. I have a titanium hardtail. I love it. But let me get back to this. When you are buying a bike, if you decide to get a full suspension, you need to factor in an extra $100 to $300 a year or every other year in maintenance costs. So the thing is if someone bought a Specialized Stumpjumper from 2008 and it was their hardtail version, that bike is probably never going to get totaled. When a customer comes to me with that bike, I'm never going to tell them the cost of repairing this bike exceeds the cost that this bike is worth right now. You're better off selling this bike and buying something else. But I have a lot of customers. There's a lot of stump jumpers out there that are full suspensions. When someone gives me a 20-year-old full suspension Specialized, the odds I tell them that it's not worth fixing up is almost 50-50. So full suspension bikes don't have the lifespan hardtail bikes have because the rear shock is an expense. All the pivot bearings are expenses. The frames seem to wear out a little bit faster on a full suspension. So my recommendations for buying a full suspension are buy a good deal under $3,000. But if you're buying a $5,000 to $10,000 full suspension bike, you need to go on Pink Bike. Go on Pink Bike. This is just, I know the opinions, but you can go on Pink Bike, set for bikes from 5 to 15 years old, and see which bike brands are selling at a higher margin of their new price. And if you go online and you set in Ibis has one of the highest resale numbers out of any bike brand. And there is a reason for that. There is a guy, Salty MTB, he's an Instagrammer. He said, he was saying things, he was kind of making jokes about bike owners. And he said, Ibis owners are the Toyota owners of the bike world. And the reason he said that is because the Ibis owners are the most informed purchaser. We know that these bikes are designed to last a long time, way longer than your Obeya, way longer than your Scott. And why is that? Okay, so this has a lifetime warranty on the bushings, on the pivots of the frame, okay? And that's because a lot of the frame parts, they use IGUS bushings. They don't use ball bearings, sealed ball bearings that freeze up and get clunky. And then you get told you gotta spend $500 to get it up to par. That's not like it on this bike. This bike is gonna hold up. I also rarely see an Ibis bike crack. You know, I hate internal headset cable routing. I hate all the fancy, I hate the Arcos headset that has a lot of plastic parts to it because I've seen those wear out over time. You know, there is bike brands I think are literally engineered to only last 5 years. You know, when I have customers, they buy the Scott. They think the Scott's awesome. It has all these click out remotes and it has this internal headset cable routing. You know, they call me up when the bike's 5 to 10 years old and they want it to function as new. And I'm like, well, that's gonna cost you more than you can go to Al Sports right now and get like a carbon fiber Scott for like $1,500. That's cheaper than fixing the Scott that you have right now. Just go buy another Scott. And you know, people, that probably enrages the bike industry, me telling people this, but you've got to understand there are Kia mountain bikes and there are Toyota mountain bikes. And Ibis isn't the only super great brand out there. You know, I don't like 4-bar suspension personally. I don't like the way it rides. I prefer DW link, like floating pivot, rigid rear triangle with the linkages in the middle of the frame. But I don't ever see issues with transition bikes. If you want a 4-bar that's like a Specialized, I would say go with the transition bikes. Those bike frames are engineered like a Toyota is engineered. So that's the point of this video. You want to get a full suspension because you want it to be easier to go downhill. A lot of people, if your skills aren't up to a certain level, but your money-making potential is up to a certain level, I think it's worth it to spend the extra $1,000 or so a year in operational costs and the added price of the bike to get a full suspension bike because you're less likely to get out of control and have a serious crash. So the main reason why you would want to buy a full suspension, you could be a tough guy, ride the hardtail. I've ridden the hardtail up here many times this summer. It's fun, but you're a little less in control. So if you want to navigate your risk profile, if you're making 6 figures or whatever and you cannot have any downtime getting hurt and you're worried you're going to get hurt, spending the extra $1,000 to get the nice full suspension is a worthwhile investment. But if you're just a college kid screwing around and you have limited funds, I would say get the hardtail. The Ozark Trail Ridge Pro is a great bike to get into the sport. It's safe to ride. I've ridden it all the way up here. We're 4,000 feet from the trailhead in elevation. I'm having fun. But yeah, so that's my opinion. I'm wearing a little goofy of a t-shirt. This is a nice shirt. I've had fun riding in it. I'm thinking of having this Volt Cyclewear make me a Greg's Bike Life shirt that you guys can all ride in. But do you think this is the size large? Does it look too big on me? Do I look handsome? I think I'll design a shirt. It's not gonna be quite as loud. Like I've said, I like my clothes and my bike to be a little quiet because I'm so loud. I don't need to be more loud, but maybe if it's good for the bit, if it's good for the video, maybe I need to just get super loud, goofy clothes. Is that what everyone wants from me? What do you want from me? I'm here for your entertainment, all right? I gotta get down this mountain. I'm not gonna make it to the peak. I ran out of water. So have a good day. Thanks for watching the channel. Subscribe, hype it. Do you think I'm wrong on the totaling of bikes? Isn't this something bike shops and bike people should be talking about? The price of repair exceeding the value of the bike. I think it's something to think about long term when you're a bicycle owner. Have a good day.